I recently met a woman who said to me, I read your book and I have to work with you. It was kind of a cool thing. She then said, where's your reading list? And I said, what reading list? She said, the one, like, what are the books that really changed your life and had you know what you know today? I said, that's a hard one because I'm a pretty voracious reader. I'm in Sedona right now shooting this video for you, and I think I brought 4 books with me for 5 days. I tend to read a lot. But I thought about it and I thought this would be really helpful for somebody who's kind of new at business or new at their personal development, their growth and their journey. What were the books that I think that really made an impact on me that I think could be great for you? So I've gathered 5 together. If you want to, talk to me about more books that I like for you to read, let me know. But let me just give you these 5 foundational books that I think really have a message, and I'm going to give them to you in an order because I'm big about things being in order. When things are in order, you can do really amazing things. So one builds upon the other, and that's an important thing to pay attention to. Don't just read them out of order. Read them in this order. All right. So the first book that I recommend for you, if you haven't read it, is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, this book was written, I believe, in the 1930s. You're going to have to fact check me on that one. But in a nutshell, what happened is Napoleon Hill was really in the inquiry of what is different from someone who has wealth and someone who doesn't have wealth. And what he did is he took time to interview the giants of the time. Now, remember, at this time in the world, there wasn't the giants we have today. It wasn't Google and Facebook and Tesla. It was things like the Rockefellers. It was the steel industry. It was railroads. So he spent several years going around and interviewing these guys on what are the concepts that has someone acquire and retain wealth. It's a simple read. It's got some great practices. So if you haven't read it, that's my first recommendation for you. I think it lays an incredible foundation for your relationship with wealth. If that's something you want to know more about, I've got other books, but let's start with that. The second book that's on my reading list for you as an entrepreneur is Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This book, I remember reading it and having it just be like an aha. It was like I knew all these things, and yet he put them into words in a way that made the structure really make sense. Now, if you've come to your journey with entrepreneurship from being an employee, which most of us have, my first job was at McDonald's, most of us have been an employee, there are things to learn about how you position yourself, your identity as a business owner, how the government looks at you, what's possible for you in growth. This book is a short story. It's, I think it's an allegory. He talks about his rich dad and his poor dad, tells a story, but you'll really get tremendous value about how you position yourself and how you operate in business. I think every entrepreneur should read this book if you haven't already. The third book that I want to recommend for you is Multiple Streams of Income by Robert Allen. I think that somebody gave me this book when I was selling timeshare in Sedona back in 1998. It had just come out, and I had been an entrepreneur. At that point, I had owned 3 businesses, but I'd moved into independent contractor. I was a real estate broker. I was working for somebody else, but I still was, having my own thing going on. And what it prompted for me was, what's next and what's possible in having multiple streams of income. I think the title gives it away, but I'll tell you that when I share with people that I've owned 9 businesses over the last 30 plus years, they often think that I own 9 businesses at once. That is not the case. I currently am operating 2 businesses as my retirement, if you will. This is my retirement these days. But as I've been growing in my wealth, in my abundance, in my life, I've always had multiple streams of income. And I think that this is one of the secrets to success. He lays out why it's important and how to set it up, talks a lot about real estate investing, and I just think this is a great book for anybody to read who's looking at building their independence and their affluence. Now, the 4th book is only applicable for you if you, like me, have a hunger for impact. If you know that you like to use your business as a vehicle to reach other people in a bigger way, the next book I have for you is a book called Scale. This book was written by Jeff Hoffman and David Finkel, and I'm giving you that because sometimes you put the titles of the books in and it's a little hard to find. Like Think and Grow Rich is going to pop up. I think it might even be in the public domain right now. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is going to pop up for you pretty easily. Multiple streams of income may pop up or maybe not as easy. You want to look up Multiple Streams of Income, Robert Allen. So this book, Scale, you may need to, but we were searching for it for you. We wanted to make sure we gave you the right one. This is Jeff Hoffman and David Finkel. They both have pretty remarkable backgrounds in their business development history. And what I love about this book, because I take it with me again and again when I go places, is that it really has incredible systems. It's just laid out in a really short and sweet way that you can adopt if you're looking to grow your company and scale. I think it's just a fantastic book for you to read. The final book I have for you that's one of my favorites is a book called Abundance. Again, you'll need to know the author because there's a lot of books on abundance out there, but not like this one. This one was written by Peter Diamandis, who is an incredible futurist. And this book to me really encompasses such a bigger vision for what's possible for us as human beings, what's possible for us in business, what's possible for us in life. He talks a lot about technology, science, AI, and eradicating poverty, and how we can each play our part of a small, piece of the puzzle to use our businesses, use our lives to create abundance in the world for all. So those are my 5 recommendations for you. I'm giving them to you in order because if you haven't got some of the foundation piece with Rich Dad, Poor Dad or Think and Grow Rich, some of the concepts in abundance may be kind of far out for you. If you're moving yourself through a trajectory to success, these books will be great assets to you, and I think you'll really enjoy reading them.